100 Indian students in US and Canada. Remember this figure, remember these nations, because sadly I'm reporting this, but 100 Indian students, they decided to end their own life journey. Because of what? Because of depression, because of mental health. Well, for years studying or working in countries like the United States and Canada, it was seen as the ultimate dream. Families sold land, mortgaged homes and took massive education loan believing that an overseas degree would guarantee a secure future. But today, behind the success stories shared on social media, a very different reality is beginning to emerge. And the numbers released by the Ministry of External Affairs has brought that reality into sharp focus. Ladies and gentlemen, according to official data presented in the Indian Parliament, more than 100 Indian students, they suffered in the US and Canada between 2023 and 2025. And yes, these are not just statistics. Behind every number is a family, a dream and a young life that carried a lot of expectations. It has also raised serious questions about the pressure faced by Indian students and professionals living far away from their home. To understand this crisis, we have to look far beyond university's brochure and study abroad advertisement. For years, thousands of families invested between 50 lakhs to 80 lakh rupees to send their children overseas. Expectation was straightforward: study hard, work part-time, secure a full-time job, get a work visa or maybe permanent residency and repay the loan within a few years. But the economic reality has changed dramatically. The tech sector has slowed down. Entry-level hiring has become much more competitive. Companies have reduced recruitment while investing heavily in automation and AI. For international students on OPT in the US, finding employment within strict timeline, it has become increasingly difficult. Missing those deadlines, it can directly affect their immigration status. And yes, at the very same time, the cost of living has continued to rise. Rent, groceries, transport and healthcare expenses in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Seattle or San Francisco has increased significantly. Many students who once depended on part-time jobs to manage their monthly expenses are now struggling to find enough work. And in the meantime, education loans back in India continue to accumulate interest, putting additional financial pressure on both students and their families. Immigration uncertainty has made the whole situation even more challenging if you see. Canada's changing immigration policies, tighter work permit rule and rising competition for permanent residency have created uncertainty for many young professionals. In the US, limited H-1B lottery selection and long green card waiting period, it has added another layer of stress, and that too for these young Indian minds trying to build a stable career. Professionals who are working with Indian communities overseas have reported increasing cases of anxiety, depression and loneliness, with emotional exhaustion among these young minds. Many hesitate to even share their struggles with their family because they fear that disappointing the people who sacrifice so much for their education. Well, they continue smiling on video calls while silently carrying financial pressure, career uncertainty and emotional isolation. And this is why the conversation, it cannot remain limited to visa or salaries. Financial planning, in fact, community support, mental well-being, they are equally important. No career, no degree, no immigration status, it is more valuable than your life. Recognizing stress early, seeking financial and professional help when needed and staying connected with family and support network, it can make a lot of difference. Sometimes asking for help is not sign of weakness. It is the strongest decision a person can make. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, from immigration policies to financial compliance, from global careers to personal struggle, the world is changing rapidly. And staying informed is no longer just an advantage. It has become a necessity.